Well, the sun is out, but the snow is still here. You're taking a look at shots from downtown Little Rock and Highway 70 on the way to Hot Springs. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Jurnee Taylor here with meteorologist Nathan Scott. Nathan, yes, the sun will come out tomorrow. But listen, it's still bitter cold out there.
It is bitter cold, but the sun is doing a good job on seeing the road conditions improve, especially on treated roads. But it is still bitterly cold out there. Even with the sun, the temperatures are going to be below freezing today. 17 is where we stand right now at Little Rock, 19 in Hot Springs, 13 in Russellville, 20 in Monticello. Also with the sun, you got to put on the sunglasses because it is so bright out there with the sun reflecting off that fresh blanket of snow. Here are the winds coming in still from the north-northwest, about 5 to 15 miles per hour. So it feels like 1 in Clinton. It feels like 11 in Hot Springs. Feels like 5 in Pine Bluff, and it feels like 9 in Searcy. Highs today, with abundant sunshine, they will stay into the 20s, expecting a high of 26 degrees here in Little Rock, 23 in Searcy, 27 in Arkadelphia, and then fair warning, any slush, any liquid out there this afternoon will become solid ice as early as, I would say, 8 or 9 o'clock as temperatures dive back down into the single digits. We'll go for a low of 10 here in the metro, but everybody else starting off your Wednesday with temperatures dropping down well into the single digits. So here's, once again, black ice is going to be a big concern. Watch out for any ponding on the shoulders and also at the bottom of hills or where there's any runoff. Those are going to be trouble spots. If the surface is shiny, that is a big clue. Tomorrow, everybody gets above freezing. I'll have more on that forecast coming up.
All right, Nathan, as a reminder, though, now is a good time to make sure you have the THV 11 app installed on your mobile devices. You never know when it may come in handy, and if you happen to lose power, it helps with staying connected with the latest updates from our team. It is free, easy to download, and available on both the App Store and Google Play. And taking a look at the interstates this afternoon, you'll see a lot of the state's busiest highways are still covered in snow. Crews have been working to clear them, and most are clear and drivable, but there are some with ice patches, so be sure to check iDrive Arkansas if you have to get out. Now remember to be on the lookout for black ice as things begin melting ahead of a possible freeze again tonight. We said that. And a few schools are already making the call, though, to close tomorrow. So far, we've received word from Little Rock, North Little Rock, Pulaski County, and Jacksonville. You can find the full list right now by texting closings to 501-376-1111. We'll also have them scrolling at the bottom of your screen throughout the day. The owners of a beloved bakery in Conway searching for answers today after a fire destroys their building overnight. THV 11's Brooke Buckner is live at the scene with more on what we know right now. Brooke?
Hi, Jurnee. Yes, take a look behind me. This is what's left of the Patty Cakes location on Front Street in downtown Conway. Obviously, demolition has already started here, and as you can see in the distance, there is still some smoke lingering, but at this time, there's no concern of the fire starting back up again. Just a few moments ago, I saw fire crews come by, and they put up even more caution tape and barriers to stop people from getting up close to the business. A lot of people I've noticed are coming in the area, taking pictures. They're curious. They want to see what it's looking like. There were massive pictures of flames shown online last night. I saw them, and they want to get their own, but city officials encourage them to stay away, and that's why all of these barriers are up around Patty Cakes and surrounding businesses too. Right now, what we know is almost all of the baking happened at this location, and the street is currently blocked off, and the fire chief, I did just catch up with him a few moments ago, and he says the fire department responded just after 6:15 last night, but it was contained to Patty Cakes and under control by around 8:45, and thankfully no injuries were reported. But unfortunately, this is not the first time these owners have dealt with a fire to their business. Patty Cakes is not the only business that they own. They also own Stobie's, the popular restaurant here in Conway. Patty Stovall, I did reach out to her. She's obviously devastated at the situation. She's processing what's going on, and it's a very emotional time. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but we will learn more and update you as we learn more. And tonight I'll have more of the business impact from not just Patty Cakes, but also the neighboring business Palmer Music Company. For now, I'll send things back to you, Jurnee.
Thank you, Brooke. Well, now to an update out of Lonoke. The city remains under a water conservation order as Public Works monitors discolored water and leaks as of this morning. The risk of running out of water seems to be gone. That discolored water is safe to drink, according to Public Works Director Thomas Stivers. He and his crew are working to get the color out of the water. Now, as for water levels, he says things look good now. The city is caught back up at the moment due to repaired leaks or methods residents are using to limit water consumption.
At this time, I don't think we're going to run out of water unless something else crazy happens. It's just going to be discolored for maybe a week, but we're going to try to work to get the color out of it.
The city of Lonoke asks for residents to drip faucets, emphasis on drip, not a continuous stream. Dripping should help with any water level or bursting pipe issues. And as weather conditions look to stay below freezing today, we are reminding you of the dangers of these extremely low temperatures. We spoke to Captain Chris Patton with Little Rock Fire. He tells us over the last few days, they've gotten calls from people needing to escape the cold.
Several of them, especially with the homeless that's, struggling to find a place. That's been quite a few of the calls.
Warming centers are open around the state. There's also a new interactive map available online where you can find the ones near you. It's linked on our website, chb11.com. Familiarize yourself with those shelters in your area, even if you do not need them. Maybe someone you know or someone you run into does, and you can help point them in the right direction. One of the dangers of the cold that you might not think about is dry skin. It's a natural consequence of spending more time inside and being exposed to more internal heat and less humidity. Dr. Sandy Johnson with Johnson Dermatology says the longer you go not taking care of dry skin, the worse it will get.
It can become very serious. So our skin is our window to the world. It is our barrier. And if your barrier gets damaged from being dry, cracked, peely, then you have a very poor barrier. And that poor barrier will allow infection, allergens, and things to enter. And then you can get a bad infection or you can get an allergy. You can have some bad rashes.
Dr. Johnson says to look for the plainest, blandest moisturizer possible, one without a lot of extra ingredients to reduce the risk of an allergic reaction. New at noon, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson is dropping his bid for the Republican presidential nomination. This comes almost 10 months after launching his campaign, where he never polled higher than 1%. Now, in a statement released on his X or Twitter platform, he says, quote, "I'm suspending my campaign for president and driving back to Arkansas," end quote. You can read his full statement right now on teachv11.com. Now, Asa isn't the only candidate to drop out this week following the Iowa caucuses. It was a big night for former President Donald Trump. He easily declared victory in last night's caucuses, and despite a smaller turnout due to extreme weather conditions, Trump still became the first Republican candidate to top 50% of the vote in Iowa. Charlie D. Marr has the latest.
Iowa, thank you. We love you all.
It was a landslide win that many expected, especially Donald Trump.
They said, well, if you win by 12%, that's a big win. That's going to be very hard to do. Well, I think we more than doubled that, I guess, tripled it maybe.
In the kickoff event of the 2024 presidential election, CBS News projects the former president captured 51% of the Republican vote. In the race for second place, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis beat former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, but just barely.
Because of your support, in spite of all of that they threw at us, everyone against us, we've got our ticket punched out of Iowa.
Haley appeared on CBS Mornings from New Hampshire, where she hopes for a much different outcome in that state's primary next week.
It's a marathon, it's not a sprint, and we're taking it one step at a time. Iowa was very good to us, but we are super excited to be here in New Hampshire.
As for how Trump did so well here in Iowa, CBS News entrance polls show that he did it with broad support from older voters, younger voters, men and women, voter groups that he lost in 2016.
Trump doubled his support from 8 years ago with key voting blocs: the very conservative, voters without a college degree, and white evangelical Christians.
Thank you for being here tonight.
And there's one fewer candidate in the race today. Entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy suspended his campaign after finishing fourth. He has already pledged his support to Donald Trump. Charlie DeMar, CBS News, Des Moines, Iowa.
An Arctic blast hit much of the United States, from power outages to snow-filled stadiums. Coming up, a look at the impact from coast to coast. Nathan?
And we got lots of blue sky, lots of sunshine, but you can clearly see the side streets are still snow covered. And the threat of black ice will remain in place going into the next several nights. We also have a small chance we could see maybe a little more winter weather on Thursday. All that and more coming up.